So when I was searching for petition sites, I actually found the European Union petition site. And then I was thinking about United Nations because it's the United Nations which do the law for the ancient site, religious site protection, special law for religious site protections. It's United Nations, right? All the countries members of the United Nations, right? But I ended up on the UN, on the EU petition site. But I actually can petition the European Union, and I've never petitioned them before, and it was quite a good form. So I thought, well, I've got a couple of petitions going now, like Change.org and 38 Degrees. I thought I might as well, it's worth a try to ask the European Union if they will recognise United Nations, because they're part of the United Nations as well. They are a member of the United Nations. So I thought it'd be worth asking them if we could get United Nations religious site protection recognised for our site. And then it would be enforceable. So after that, I was looking for the address for the United Nations. I thought, well, have the United Nations got their own petition website? Do they run petitions? Or would you just petition them probably on 38 Degrees or Change.org? You'd probably just petition them, wouldn't you? So I've looked on the map for where it is. And funnily enough, I thought it might be in Europe, the United Nations. But the UN headquarters is in New York. It's actually just next to the... It's actually not far from the Statue of Liberty at all. It's very, very near the Statue of Liberty. It only looks... Well, I guess we could measure it. I'll see if I can get directions. We'll see how far it is. Oh, it's 1 hour and... Oh, no, that's walking, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Oh, you can drive there in 12 minutes. Well, it's 12 minutes to... It takes 12 minutes to drive, which is not long. 12 minutes. It's like 5 miles to the edge of the water. And obviously Liberty Island is... You got to go to the water, but it's like 5... It's sort of like 5 mile. Obviously that road's curved as well. It goes around the coastline. So if you straightened it out, it's 5 mile away, which is significant. So it's really near Liberty Island. Now, how important is our religious site that I'm claiming UN, United Nations religious site protection, getting the law enforceable and recognised? Well, you would say, well, how important is the Statue of Liberty? I mean, it's a world site. People from all over the world travel to see it, and it's actually a statue. It's not even a piece of land or ancient stones. I mean, in America, they build a copy of Stonehenge replica. I mean, to them, it's important, but I mean, it's not even from Sleepy Hollow era. It's not even from sort of like, extremely early America. I mean, it's actually only after Hobkirk's book was written when they put it there. So it's not even that old. It's kind of more of a modernist building anyway. Well, the shape of the island is the exact same size as our ancient site and shape, and it's called Liberty as well. And and our area was a liberal area, Liberty Caps. That's what the whole Roundhead versus Royalists is, and why it's even called a Liberal Party. It's absolutely crazy that the United Nations headquarters is actually near the Statue of Liberty. So why I should make a big deal out of wanting to get recognition for our site? Well, it's the whole thing. I think it is the whole thing behind the Statue of Liberty idea in the first place, and also Greenbelt as well. That Octavia Hill claimed to come out with the idea after Hobkirk's book got published and circulated, and it actually has got a ring of green belt around it, trees. So it is important. If the Statue of Liberty is actually based on something that was based on something, so there's an original site that even the Statue of Liberty and Liberty Island is a tribute to, then surely the original site surely is more valuable than Liberty Island, surely. So United Nations surely should grant religious site protection. I mean, if there's anything religious about it, well, where does even the idea of liberty come from? Well, we know the word liberty is in Gaelic is saucer. And that's where you even get the word saucer from, for flying saucers and for a saucer and plate. And a mushroom is a saucer shape anyway, fungi, you know. And then there are all the feminine connotations as well. Anyway, I've submitted the United Nations petition, the European Union petition, which actually is asking for They are a member of the European Union countries are mostly all members of the United Nations anyway, although we are as well. So if that goes live, I've probably got a lot more chance of getting more signatures from people in all around Europe actually as well. And they might not know about the Statue of Liberty either. They might not actually know about the Statue of Liberty existing. Well, no, not existing, but I mean the origins of it existing. That there are actually some origins and circumstances that led to it being built. So, you know, I actually could probably send both the petitions that I've got so far to the United Nations headquarters. I need help collecting signatures, that's the only thing. It's not easy to collect signatures on Facebook because of all the limits and restrictions. I've been trying to get some signatures, but every time we try, they keep changing the rules, so they limit how many you can send. So I hope that this United European Union petition gets approved for publishing. People just browsing the website, there might be a lot of people around France and Germany, Belgium, all around Europe, you know, who just like browsing the EU website petitions and might start signing it and sharing it. I don't know. I can attach photographs and pictures, so that's pretty cool if you can attach quite a few photos and pictures and things. I haven't really mentioned it to the United Nations because I didn't really think about United Nations headquarters because we're a member of the United Nations anyway. So, you know, I just kind of thought, you know, the United Nations law applies, but maybe they can help you get their own laws implemented. It is a big deal, this. It is a big deal, you know. Probably send them my petition links and hopefully the EU one as well. So, but just now while I'm looking at this, I don't know why, but something just came into my head when I didn't even know that the United Nations headquarters was in New York at all. I had no idea. I thought it was in Europe, United Nations headquarters. And then when I thought, something to do with the United Nations of the world's nations being united together, you know, and I didn't really think of America. I was thinking, I had this kind of like vision of EU, the European Union in my head when I'm thinking about United Nations. I thought it was some kind of like, you know, they all, you know, it's some sort of branch or side thing of EU, because that's what it sounds like, United Nations, doesn't it? But it's different. And then the first thing that popped into my head was, you know, if you got pissed off with, you know, the United Nations, what would someone do? And then I just thought in my head, that World Trade Center popped into my head, you know. And look, all I've typed in is world now, and the World Trade Center's popped up. Let's see how far the World Trade Center is for. Oh, whoa, what the hell? The World Trade Center. Is that it? The World Trade Center is right there as well. That's where that plane crashed into, and now some people on the internet, actually proper big channels, like George Galloway and Garland Nixon and, you know, Chris Hedges and all that, those sort of people, are all talking about, you know, the CIA having a cover-up and it being some sort of a setup. Oh, wow, so it's actually just opposite the Statue of Liberty as well. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that really interesting? It's quite amazing they didn't fly you would have thought that would have flown the plane into the Statue of Liberty, wouldn't you, you know? To make a big deal out of that. That, you know, you would have thought terrorists might have flown into the Statue of Liberty, the plane, you know? But it might not have actually, it might just like broke a bit off it or something. What part would you aim for? I mean, would you aim for the arm at the top? It would have only taken the arm off it. Or would you aim for the head? And if you'd aim for the head, it might have only taken its head off. It might not little, I don't know. But it definitely is the same dimensions as our Liberty monument that's been hidden and covered up, but yet got recognised by Hobkirk. And then the whole World War. You see, the World War, it's important because the World War started off. What's this place here? That is that an island as well, or what? I don't really know much about. Oh, look, you see, there's another island here. There's Governor's Island. Did these just happen to be there when they went over to America, these islands, or what? Or was it actually shovel them with, you know, you don't know. You know, they might not tell the truth when they went over and colonised America. They might just have built two little islands in the bay. So, yeah, we'll have a couple islands here. Now, I think they were there because it was a lot later, wasn't it, when they decided to put the statue on it. But it's interesting, we've got two hill forts next to each other. You see, I've never really thought about this fort before. You see, we've got Castle Hill's elongated, it's an elongation. And they've got that Governor's Island there. And then the little one next to it. See, that's 5 miles there. I wonder how many kilometres is it? How many kilometres? It's getting kind of ridiculous now. You know what I think? I think there was something kicking off to do with that United Nations, the United Nations, because it's all about it was all about the in the Middle East, wasn't it, kicking off? So it's to do with the United Nations, and see, I'm trying to get religious site protection, and they were a lot pissed off about the religions, and so flew into the World Trade Center. What does this headquarters place look like? And I wonder if that wouldn't have been a worth target flying at. Can we see it? How do I see it? What does it look like? It's like an whoa, look at that thing with 4 wheels on the back. Wow. It's like a mad underpass. It's really urban American under there, isn't it? It's all skyscrapers and city blocks. I bet there's not many. You know, they've got the White House, but how many? You know, ancient Pennsylvania Drive. How many old buildings are left over there? Probably not many. I need to get on. I want to get. That's better. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Oh, right. It's sort of like. Wow, they've got a big building. Kind of like a. a round domey sort of thing. It made me think of the Pentagon then, but it does almost look mosque kind of like, doesn't it? You know, with the circle on there. You'd have thought that they probably wouldn't want to fly into it if it looked a little bit, tiny bit like a kind of mosque sort of thing. Yeah, it's not the best target for a plane unless you land flat on it. You'd have to be coming down to land, wouldn't you? If you wanted to do something to that, you'd have to kind of land. You'd have to sort of. You have to be coming in. You'd have to be coming in a land. You know, you have to be coming into land. Although it's kind of open. What the hell's that? Some sort of radar disc or something. Just a monument. You can go walk around. It doesn't look. The grass don't look very neat on it. Not like the White House. What's all that doing there? What are all these discs? Like fucking Area 51 or something?